We're live. Thanks for joining, guys. You know the rules. We're going to give a few minutes for everyone to join. I'm really excited because we're going to be unboxing the summer box tonight, and I'm going to be sharing it with all of you and also answering any of your questions that you have about sunscreen, summer, all the good stuff. So stick around. We're just going to give everyone a few minutes. Hope you guys are doing well. We picked a new time. We decided to go live a little later. I figured most of you are probably winding down for the night and you're just gonna hang out so we can hang out together. I'm usually not dressed like this on a Sunday night. I usually have my glasses on. Thank you, Z. I feel very good about wearing contacts right now because I don't normally do this. But we're gonna unbox the summer box. I'm gonna kind of walk you guys through all the products and just answer any of your questions that you have, and then stick around for the end because I have a little surprise. I'm going to fully reveal what's coming next month. We're gonna keep this surprise here, so whoever's not watching is just not gonna know. So stick around for the end. All right, shall we jump in? This is our summer box. As you guys know, with Dermy Doc Box, your boxes usually come in a box, our cute little pink box. But this summer we said, you know what, let's take it to the next level. I really wanted to create something that was actually going to be useful. You know that we are really about sustainability and trying to do what we can to recycle as much as possible, not overuse things if possible. And one of our ideas was to give you a reusable bag that would be helpful for the summertime. So this is our limited edition Dermy Doc Box Insulated skincare bag. We do have it for sale on the website separately if you wanted one, or you can just get it with the box. But it retails for $25.99. The inside of it is insulated. So I'll show you that once we empty out the whole box. But it's great for the beach, on the go. If your stuff usually tends to get really hot when you're outdoors in the summertime, like lip products or sunscreens, or even your phone, there's a cute little pocket in there for that. So hopefully you guys found that enjoyable this time around, but let's dive in. So as you know, every box comes with a pamphlet. This is probably the part that takes the most time, honestly, out of the box stuff, because I just want to make sure I give as much information as possible. This is where I just have diarrhea of the mouth and I just tell you everything I want you to know about the products, about the season, about my recommendations, and also kind of your go-to when you're trying out your products and you're deciding, you know, what you like and what sort of information you need. You kind of have everything that I would tell you about it right here. So this is really important to me. As somebody who used to subscribe to a lot of boxes, I think that was probably the most frustrating part. You get these products and you're like, okay, what do I do with this now? And how do I incorporate it into my routine? And where does it fit? And is it appropriate for the season? So that's kind of where we take the guesswork out of all of that with our pamphlet. So inside the pamphlet is a detail of all the products. And then these purple boxes are where we also include discount codes. So if you love something or if you want to explore more from a brand, you have an exclusive discount code to head back to their website to shop for more. All right, other than that, we also have our Science of Skincare card. So this month or this season, I wanted to make it all about kind of your common sun protection facts. What are UV rays? What's the UV index? How does UV radiation cause skin cancer? Base tans? What does SPF mean, etc. So hopefully you'll learn a lot from that. And then we're gonna start to unbox the products. I think one thing before I start unboxing that I know is a very common question, I'm sure somebody on here is curious about it, is what is the difference between chemical and mineral sunscreens? What should I be using? What's all this talk on social media about things being toxic, etc. This could honestly be an entire Instagram live. So bear with me because I'm gonna try to consolidate it and just make it digestible. So chemical versus mineral sunscreens. First of all, very easy. There are only two types of mineral sunscreens, okay? So you're either going to, actually I'll show you. When you flip over your sunscreen, on the back side, you should see an active ingredient section. That's how sunscreens in the US are labeled. Their active ingredients is what is in the sunscreen, what the filter is. So on the back side of this one from Elta MD, which we will unbox in just a second, it says zinc oxide and titanium dioxide. Those are the two mineral only filters, okay? So that is a mineral based sunscreen. If you see those terms on there, mineral. Now, you can have a mineral and chemical sunscreen mixed together, which some sunscreens do, or you could have chemical sunscreens. And that's everything else you see. Oxybenzone, avobenzone, da-da-da, all of those. Now, chemical sunscreens is what you're seeing a lot of buzz on social media about. Are these toxic? Are these harmful? Should we be avoiding them? And basically what it boils down to is the FDA regulates our sunscreens. They are not allowed to just willy-nilly put things in products and call them sunscreens. We have very specific sunscreen filters in the US that are approved. That's why you'll see a lot of people will shop abroad for their sunscreens, like they'll buy stuff in Europe or get some K-beauty brands because they have different sunscreen filters than we do. And some argue, and I would agree with, that a lot of the sunscreens outside of the US are more cosmetically elegant, work a little bit better at broad spectrum coverage, including the UVA range of our the UV radiation spectrum. And so it can be really difficult to kind of discern all this talk. Last year, or the year before, last year, actually in 2019 as well, two kind of things came out from the FDA saying, hey, we see chemical sunscreens can be found in the blood. What does that mean? We don't know. So I think the media and even some beauty brands, people who are technically clean beauty advocates, also kind of took this statement and ran with it. We as dermatologists are like, hey, hold on. We don't have all the information yet. And just because something is found detectable at small levels in the blood does not make it harmful for our body. We also don't know, for example, what else we consume in our daily life that is also in our blood levels. So the good news is, and the thing that you should kind of breathe a sigh of relief about, is that the FDA is very, very into researching the efficacy and safety of your sunscreens. So for me, I take pride in that and I say, okay, I'm going to wait for further information until I change my recommendations. Now, if you as a consumer say, I would rather do X or Y or Z, that is totally understandable. When it comes to kids, I recommend mineral only sunscreens, but personally, I use both chemical and mineral filters. Okay, hopefully that answered everything. I'm sorry if that took too long. I was really trying to consolidate it. Let's jump into the box. So the first product we have in here is the Elta MD UV Elements Broad Spectrum SPF 44. This is a tinted sunscreen. I love this one, and this is something that a lot of dermatologists, this line, Elta MD, carry in their office. And so I thought it'd be really fun to include in the box because there you go, you're at the derm office, and this is what I tell you to grab if you were looking for a tinted physical and mineral are interchangeable sunscreen. So I love this one, and I love Elta MD in general because they make really good sunscreens. This one in particular has a sheer tint to it, so it's not going to be super heavy. It's not going to look like makeup or foundation, but it's just going to give a very light tint, which can help if you're headed out for the day and don't really want to do a face of makeup, but you want to kind of blur some imperfections. I love wearing this one on the weekend, especially when I'm just barefaced, which I do a lot of times on the weekend, and I find it to be very comfortable. It's also really safe after procedures when your skin is feeling super sensitive. If you have more sensitive or irritated prone skin, you're gonna love this guy. Elta MD has a lot of other great sunscreens that I would recommend looking into as well. One of their other ones that's really popular in the office is Elta MD's UV Clear sunscreen. It is very good for acne prone skin, non-tinted. Would also recommend that one. But hopefully you guys love that. I see some hearts and loves for Elta MD, so that's great. I definitely think this one was a winner in the box. So that is the first sunscreen. Obviously it's a summer box. You know I had to give you sunscreens. And I did have people say, well, why did you include so many? Girl, if you are wearing sunscreen, you're gonna go through these. I promise you, they're not gonna last you that long. I want it on your face every day. And the reason why I include multiple sunscreens in the summer box is because I guarantee there's going to be one in here that you love. If you don't love all three, which a lot of you did, but if you don't love all three, you will find one that you're gonna be obsessed with. And that was kind of my goal in giving you different types of sunscreens so that you could try them all for a very low price and figure out what works for you, what works for your skin type. Because at the end of the day, when it comes to sunscreens, it can be really difficult to find something you love. And it's my job to kind of bring you a few options so that you walk away feeling really good about at least one. So let me know if that one was one you loved. I love this guy. This, If you're a patient, which I know you can't say in the comments, don't worry, girl, I got you, HIPAA. I will zip my mouth if you're a patient of mine in the office. But you know, if you've seen me as a patient in the office and we've talked about sunscreen, I've probably given you a sample of this La Roche-Posay. This is the Double Repair Face Moisturizer with UV. I love this product. I've been using it for years. I give it to my patients all the time because it just goes on so well. This is a chemical-based sunscreen, so you'll see on the back side here, remember, active ingredients section, and you'll see that these are the avobenzone, homosalate, octisalate, actylcholine right here. Chemical-based sunscreen. This is a beautiful sunscreen. It goes on super nicely. If you're acne prone, if you have rosacea, usually this is a good one that your skin is probably gonna agree with. I will say most chemical sunscreens will cause a little bit of burning around the eyes if you get it too close. So be mindful of that. If that's you, you might wanna avoid it really close to the eye. But I really, really love this product. Another thing that is in this product, which is in a lot of La Roche-Posay products, is their prebiotic thermal water. There is magic in the waters of France. I just need you guys to know that. That's kind of a thing. And that's because they really help to restore our skin barrier and skin microbiome. They're formulated with lots of minerals, natural elements that help to soothe and calm the skin. Another ingredient that does that in here is niacinamide. So if you're more red prone or irritation prone, that will also help bring things down. Basically, this is an awesome everyday sunscreen, especially if you're looking for a moisturizer sunscreen in one combination. Beautiful. It sits well under makeup. And they have a nighttime version of this without sunscreen. So it's really easy to make like an AM and PM regimen with this moisturizer. So this one has sunscreen and then they do have one without. Do you guys have any questions about this guy? Let me just see the comments here real quick. Can you show your left hand rings? Yes, but we're not talking about my rings right now, but thank you. Now I'm gonna feel awkward. Okay. So this was the La Roche-Posay sunscreen. So we have Elta MD. This is the Tinted Physical. This one, which is a moisturizer sunscreen chemical sunscreen combination in one. And then the third major sunscreen that we have is Sheerglow. So Sheerglow is from Urban Skin RX. This is their Even Tone Daily Defense Mineral Moisturizer Sunscreen. So this is a mineral sunscreen. Someone's asking, is it just for the face or body as well? Technically, this is for the face. I don't know that I would use this on the body because you're probably gonna run out of it really quickly, but they do have a lot of great body sunscreens. One of their body sunscreens that I really like, it's called Melt in Milk, and it comes in like a big tube. Does it leave a white residue or tint on your face? So this is a chemical sunscreen, and I should tell you that when people are talking about if something leaves a white cast, they're usually referring to a mineral sunscreen. The problem with mineral sunscreens is they can be very hard to formulate to be sheer on the skin. So chemical sunscreens, not hard to do that. Most skin types, you know, from light skin to very dark skin, will do well with a chemical sunscreen. You're not gonna hear an issue about a chemical sunscreen causing a white cast. Mineral sunscreens, on the other hand, though, can cause a white cast. So it can be really hard to find if you're darker skinned. And that's why you'll often hear a lot of people saying that sunscreen didn't work for me. It made me look like I have a white cast, or it was like a little ashy on my face, or gray toned. So mineral sunscreens can be a little hard to formulate from that standpoint. Love the La Roche-Posay. It was in one of your previous boxes. Yes, we had the moisturizer without sunscreen in one of our previous winter boxes. So we thought that this would be a good addition. Do I apply sunscreen after the La Roche-Posay moisturizer? This is a moisturizer and sunscreen in one, so you don't have to apply sunscreen on top of it. So it will work as your moisturizer and sunscreen together. Okay, so back to this guy. This is Sheerglow from Urban Skin RX. Love this one. Okay, this guy is really nice. This is a mineral sunscreen. You can see on the back, active ingredients, it says zinc oxide. So we said, remember, mineral sunscreens are either zinc oxide or titanium dioxide. So this one is a mineral-based sunscreen. Love this guy because it is non-tinted, right? So mineral that was tinted, this one's non-tinted, and it goes on pretty sheer. So this formulation in specific, I think, is pretty well tolerated for most skin types. Now, if you have a darker skin tone and you're using a mineral sunscreen, you need to apply slowly and you need to also give it time to settle in. When you first put this on, you will feel like you're getting a little bit of a white cast, but if you continue to rub and then give it a minute or two, it will blend in pretty nicely to the skin. So for a mineral-based sunscreen, I personally think that the sheer finish on this is pretty impressive. The other thing about this is it also is made with a few antioxidants, so it works for hyperpigmented based skin. So if you're somebody that struggles with hyperpigmentation, you want to pick a sunscreen that may also have some antioxidants in it to help you with some brightening. So this is what I love about this guy. It is super easy to apply on the skin. Someone's asking, could you put this on the body? You could also put this on the body. No white cast for me on this one. It was great. Okay, I love that. Okay, so one other thing I want to talk to you guys about in terms of these 3 sunscreens before I move on is what is the benefit of a tinted sunscreen versus a non-tinted sunscreen. One additional thing that I have not delved into on the Dermy Box page, but I've talked to on my personal page, is that a tinted sunscreen usually contains ingredients called iron oxides. If you're somebody who struggles with melasma or a hyperpigmentation disorder, using a sunscreen that contains iron oxide, which is going to be a tinted sunscreen, could potentially even help improve your condition even more. And the reason why is that more and more research shows us that people who struggle with hyperpigmentary disorders, including melasma, can actually be impacted by visible light. So blue light is part of the visible light spectrum, right? We have the UV spectrum and the visible light spectrum. We now have more research, which by the way, my boss was like one of the big peoples on this huge groundbreaking research on visible light. So shout out to Dr. Hamzavi and his research team because they basically changed the game when it came to sunscreen. But we know that visible light can impact hyperpigmentation and brown spots, melasma, all of these disorders getting worse. So a lot of times for our patients who struggle with things like melasma, we'll talk to them also about a tinted sunscreen option. So just wanted to throw that out there in case that was something you were wondering about, or you may have heard on the internet a buzzword of iron oxides. Okay, let's see if there's any other additional questions. All right, I don't see anything else right now. Is it okay to switch between them or should we stick to one? Absolutely. You should see my sunscreen drawer. It is now a drawer. It used to just be a little section of skincare, but then I realized I needed a completely separate drawer for my sunscreens. And every day I just pick a different sunscreen. Sometimes I want a tint, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I want something a little thicker because I know I'm going to be outside more and I want to really cake it on. Sometimes I want something really light under my makeup. So you can absolutely switch between sunscreens. You don't have to stick to one. The thing that you should make sure of on your sunscreens though, and here we go. So I'll show you this one. You want to make sure you check the expiration date on your sunscreen. So this one says April of 2025, but sunscreens expire, you guys. So they're not going to be effective at blocking UV radiation if they're expired. So just make sure you're checking your sunscreen expiration dates if you're opening multiples, and you're going through multiple. Okay. Do we love this or what? I love this guy. So this is Brush on Block Protective Lip Oil, SPF 32. It is where's mine? I brought mine out for my vanity. It is a lip oil that has a beautiful coral color and it has sunscreen in it. Like, how amazing is that? It also has iron oxides. That's that buzzword we just talked about for tinted products to protect against visible light. But it is a sunscreen lip product. And this is important because you can get skin cancer on your lips. You can get sun damage on your lips. So sun damage in and around the lip area shows up as those really dry, etched in areas in and around the lip. That is not fun for us. We don't want to have that, or we want to delay it if we can. And skin cancers can happen on the lip. So that is a really, really common area for intense sun exposure, especially this lower lip. When you're out at the beach, when you're out walking around, use a lip oil that has sunscreen. It's easy. So I love this guy because number one, it doesn't have a gross sunscreen smell. And I know some of them do. I've tried a lot of them. It also has a really nice color without the sticky feeling because I don't love that, especially if I'm going for a casual, no makeup day or just want something super simple. I feel like this coral color is just so universal, and it's so beautiful and just gives such a nice, very, very light tint to the lips without being too much. And I find that it's not irritating to have on the skin. So it actually contains hydrating oil. So you feel like you're using, a lip balm to hydrate your lips, obviously with the added protection of sunscreen. Somebody is asking about face wash, which we can talk about in a second after we're done here. So this lip product I think is really fun. One thing you should know, remember we said in your pamphlet, you'll have discount codes. So right here for the Brush on Block section, there is a coupon code for 20% off on their website. I would highly recommend looking at their brush on powder for reapplication. So some of you guys were asking about a reapplication product. They do have one. We didn't include it because it does actually have other tints in it. So you could go find something that works for your skin type, and that is a really nice powder brush to reapply with. So just a reminder that you have those coupon codes in there if you want to shop something else on their website as well. Okay, I saved my fave for last. All right, I'm super excited about these. These are the Inner Glow Age Defense Vitamins. If you're recognizing Inner Glow, it's because we've had their hair, skin, and nail vitamins in another box. This is the Age Defense Vitamin. I love this vitamin. Here's the thing. Vitamins, supplements, you have to know what you're ingesting. Unfortunately, our US market, we are flooded with information about supplements, and a lot of it is BS. And I'm really, really, really proud of Dr. Galaria because she was like, you know what? I could do this better. She's a dermatologist. She's been in practice for decades. She has seen patients with skin cancer, with pigmentary disorders, with cosmetic concerns, and she realized that she could do something better on the market. So Age Defense Vitamins, the most important ingredient you need to know about this vitamin is that it contains polypodium leukotomas. Polypodium leukotomas. Don't you sound cool when you say that? You should just say that to people. I'm taking a supplement that contains polypodium leukotomas. What is polypodium leukotomas? It is a fern extract. It is an antioxidant that has been shown to decrease sun damage or the oxidative potential of UV rays. So we know from really, really strong research that taking a supplement containing polypodium leukotomas can decrease the intensity or risks of a sunburn. This is not a sunscreen, but when it comes to upping your sun protection game, this is an amazing product. So I use this product if I am headed out in the sun for a long period of time. To the lake, I'm gonna be on a long walk. I just know I'm gonna be outside at the park with the kids. I will take one of these. You take it an hour before sun exposure and it significantly reduces your sunburn risk. Now, you should still wear sunscreen and you should still reapply, but polypodium leukotomas is a game changer when it comes to sun protection. You also have to think from the standpoint of a dermatologist. A lot of our patients who see us have disorders that actually worsen with sun exposure. So we're not talking about just anti-aging or reducing our skin cancer risk. There are certain dermatological conditions that actually flare very intensely with sun exposure. So for those patients especially, we often talk about polypodium leukotomas. So I love that she has packaged this in a vitamin supplement that you can take for age defense. She does have a lot of other things on here. So resveratrol, blueberry turmeric root extract, cocoa bean extract, grapeseed, a probiotic blend. So Dr. Galaria is amazing, and I wanted her to kind of dive into this research a little more because she's done so much research on creating these vitamins. So I'm actually going to have her here for an Instagram Live next week. So if you guys are curious about supplements when it comes to skincare and you want to ask her specific questions, we will post the date for that coming up soon. But I think it would be really cool to pick her brain. So this is Inner Glow's Age Defense Vitamins. You have 6 in here, so you can try them out before heading out to the lake or beach, etc. See if it does anything for you, if you like it. And then, of course, your pamphlet will have a discount code if you do want to repurchase or purchase the larger bottle. Okay, so now that this is empty, I'm going to show you the inside. So cute, right? And look at this little pocket for your phone. And it's wipeable on the outside, so you can see the material is like super wipeable. And like, I just love the little embossed zipper. Like, this was so much fun to design, you guys. I could do this all day long, but I actually have to keep a real job. So I guess until then, I will also work as a dermatologist and do this on the side. But that was our summer box. Let me know if you have any questions about that below. I do want to tease something coming next month. I'm really, really excited. And a lot of you guys have asked about, you know, I love your box, but I need something more geared toward my teenager or a family member who's a little younger and more acne prone. So next month, we are releasing a small amount of boxes that are going to be completely for teens. So this is going to be our For Teens pop-up box. Shh, you heard it here. We're not posting it anywhere else until next month, but it is going to be our teens only box, and it is a full regimen for acne prone skin. So if you have an acne prone teenager or a friend or a sibling heading off to college or getting ready for the start of the school year and they're wondering about what kind of routine to do, I have taken away all the guesswork and we've put everything into one box to make it super easy for them to take care of their acne and get their acne under control. So I'm super excited. We're going to release that next month. So stick around for that. You'll see some details about it towards the middle half of the month. And I'm really, really excited for us to release that. Would this be good for an adult with acne? Absolutely, absolutely. So this is going to be just an acne prone box in general. So if you struggle with acne as an adult, you will also find it helpful. But our goal was to really cater to a teenage population and give a simple step-by-step routine that is evidence-based and definitely something that should improve acne. Of course, I always tell patients that if something isn't improving with over-the-counter products, and you guys know this too, if your skin condition is not improving with products you're using in the box, that's not what the box is for. You should absolutely find a dermatologist to treat things in person, but I'm hoping that the acne or 14 box is going to be helpful for people who are looking to build an acne-based, evidence-based regimen. All right, let's see if there's any questions about the summer box. You guys keep that on the DL because we're not going to say anything about the other box. But yes, we're very excited. Do you take those supplements with regular vitamins? Yes, you can take the Inner Glow vitamins with your regular multivitamin. They do contain, like I said, antioxidants, prebiotics, and then the polypodium leucotomus extract. They contain vitamin C. So I do tell patients always, if you're starting a supplement, you should discuss it with your doctor, especially if it's a daily supplement long-term. We have a lot of expensive pee in the US. There are people taking supplements that are not necessary or over supplementing products. So we never want to contribute to that. So if you're unsure if it's the right vitamin for you, or if you think that, you know, this might interact with one of your medications, I would absolutely prefer you discuss that with your doctor. Can someone not struggling with acne use the box that we're dropping next month? Yes, you can. Let's see. I don't see any other questions. Anything else, you guys? I'm really excited too, by the way, our fall box, don't worry, we didn't forget about you guys. So the acne box is not going to be billed to you or sent to you if you're a subscriber. Your fall box is the next box, and that one is mid-September. Remember, our rebill date as a subscriber will be September 15th, and then your box will ship soon after that. Our fall box is super exciting. I can't say, I always like, if I start talking, then I give too much away, but it's gonna be an awesome box. And then we have a really, really great winter/holiday box coming up for December. Let's see, going on a cruise and sun can cause my autoimmune disease to flare. The supplements sound interesting. Exactly my point. So if you're somebody who flares with sun exposure for your dermatological autoimmune condition, you might want to look into polypodium leucotomus. That's the main ingredient in this product. You can find other products who also have this. I just love this one in specific. Dr. Glaria will be on next week though to dive more into the science behind that if you're curious about her supplements. Joined late. What's the purpose of lining of the bag? Because it's going to protect your products from heat. So it's a little bit more insulated than a regular skincare bag. So like your phone at the beach overheating, that is a super safe spot for it. Also like lip products or sunscreen. So easy to wipe down too, by the way. How cute is that? Like, look at the shine. All right. If I didn't get to your question or you have other questions, feel free to DM me. I will save this live if you're joining late and you want to watch the whole thing over. We also repost everything to our YouTube page, and I will see you guys soon. I'm super excited for next month's surprise, and thank you for being here. I'm going to go get my kids to bed now. Okay, have a good night.